Hi everybody, it's Lily from Decowreathsbylily. I hope everybody is staying cool through this heat wave that we're getting here in Ontario. It's been crazy. I don't know where you are, if you're getting the same heat waves and stuff like that, but please stay cool, hydrated. You know what I mean? If you have to go out, don't stay out in the sun for too long. I'm hoping that this heat wave breaks over the weekend. So what I'm working on is the butterfly ribbon and sign set that I picked up from Unique in the Creek. I think that I picked this up a couple of months back, so I figured now I'd at least get one more thing done before I start doing my fall wreaths next week. So this is the sign, the really cute butterfly. And then these are the 3 rows of ribbon that you do get with it. So you get the black and white, I guess it's check. Get a really nice gold ribbon here. Really beautiful gold. And then you get the gold Swiss dot as well. So I've already kind of started up because if you know me, I like to prep ahead of time. So everything's all cut and ready to go. So I've already been working on a little bit of it here, as you can see. So we'll see how this turns out when I do it this way. There's different ways that you can work on the Unique in the Creek rectangle boards, because that's what I'm using. So I'm kind of making a swag here. Okay, and I've already kind of started it, as you can see here. So what I did was I cut 4 of the Swiss dot at 13 inches, and then I cut 8 of the gold at 13 inches, and then the black and white check I cut at 13 inches as well. And I only cut 4 of those. So let's see, and then what I did, if you can see on my board here, I already put a zip tie, but I closed them up. I know everybody likes to do this differently. You know, you put your, pipe cleaner in, do it that way. But I like to use zip ties. So the reason why I did it this way is so I could take another zip tie and then I slide it right underneath the zip tie here. I'm going to show you here. Let me move this out of the way. As you can see here, right? So this way it goes the way that I want, right? So I'm using pre-cut mesh. I'm using 1 piece of black with black foil, and then I'm just using 1 piece of white pre-cut mesh. And these are all my materials. Everything here is from Unique in the Creek. So let's get started and I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I take my clip. Okay, and where'd my clip go? Okay, here we go. So I have the factory edges are on the side. So I put the black underneath and the white up on top. So I just kind of overlap it a bit. You can see here. And then I take this clip and then I kind of scrunch these 2 together just to keep them together when I'm rolling. So the one end, I just roll it over once. And then I scrunch to the middle. And then I clip it. And then I flip it the other side. And then I roll it over once. And then scrunch. And then clip them together. Okay. Let's get rid of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, because I've already used the check and the gold together. So every other, I'm using the check and the gold, and then I'm just using the Swiss dot and the gold. Okay, so let me get these ready. I'm gonna put the Swiss dot is on the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure everything's even, and here we go. So I don't know if you can see this. So I'm kind of doing this a little differently than most people would. So as you can see at the bottom, I have the white here and then the black on the top on both sides. And then on this side, I have the black piece on the bottom and the white on the top. Just kind of looking like the black and white check, right? So here we go. So I'm going to put this down on top of the board with the zip tie. And then I'm going to get my ribbon ready. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, and then I'm just going to move that to the side. get my ribbon bundle together. And I'm just going to tighten it up, but not too tight, because I want to make sure that I'm going to pull my ribbons apart. You can see here. And then close it up, tighten it up, and then of course remove the tail. So as you can see here, so now I have the two gold ribbon, like the gold Swiss dot and the actual gold, so it shows up a little bit better when it's on the bottom with the black. So as you can see here, like I said, it's kind of like a checkerboard, right? Design that I'm doing. I figured I'd try something a little different with this than what I normally do, because normally I would just maybe use one color, or I would alternate. I would do, you know, black and then white and black and white or whatever, but I wanted to try it with doing it with the two different colors together like this. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next. Okay, so the life of a crafter. Okay, so make sure that the curl, it's a bit more curl up. They're both facing up. So let me grab another one here. So the next packet I'm going to do is the black and white check with the gold. Okay, so one on top of the other. And I'm just going to pinch it so I can clip it. To me, I find this is the easiest way when I'm working with the pre-cut mesh, is just to clip it like that. And then of course just roll it over once. And then scrunch it right to the middle. Same here. And then scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And then clip it. Just make sure. So now this one, and I'm going to grab my zip tie. And then I'm going to slide it underneath the zip tie here that I closed up. If you can see. Okay. And then grab my ribbon packet. I didn't want to start this right from the beginning because I didn't want to bore you guys with, you know, all the details and stuff. But we'll see how this turns out in the end. I'm debating on adding greenery to this. I'm still kind of undecided. I could always add it if I want. I can play around with it because I can always remove the greenery because I usually just put it in just to see what it looks like. Okay, so now on this side here, okay, we're gonna, excuse me. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the white on the bottom so it's like white and black. I'm just gonna put it on top. And grab my ribbons. I'm going to remove the clip. So I'm just going to scrunch this down just a bit. I always have the odd problem here and there. But, okay, and like I said, I'm just going to tighten it up just a bit to the zip tie. If you don't want to add your ribbons on top of your mesh with the one zip tie, you can always just zip tie your mesh in place, and then you can just slide another zip tie underneath as well, and then you can add your ribbons also. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way. The one thing I've learned over the past year or so now, there's no right way or wrong way. If you want to, you know, if you're a zip tie person, you can use as many zip ties as you want if you feel comfortable that way. I like to add everything together, but then I like to do my florals and my greenery last, right? And those I usually zip tie in and add a bit of glue to the board. Okay, so you can see here now, we have the black on the bottom with the white on the bottom, right? And then you have the black. Okay. And now we're going to go to the end of the board. Like I said, this ain't going to take long. So each takes 8 pieces of white, 8 pieces of black. So if you have like extra, you know, white and black lying around, or you could use whatever color you want. Like, I find that the rectangle boards and the rail boards are perfect for that leftover mesh that you have to make other wreaths with, right? Okay, so grab this and this. So white on top of the black, and then I'm just gonna pinch it here in the middle and add my clip. Kind of a little disorganized here because I have my laptop sitting there as well. So, okay, so I'm just gonna fold over once. Might have to get better camera angles as well. I know this might be a little tricky for you guys to see, but eventually I'll get it all figured out. Okay, then I will upload this video to my YouTube channel because I finally got my YouTube channel going for Decowreathsbylily. Okay, so then we have the gold Swiss dot and the gold. So I like to crisscross them because it makes it easier to separate them as well. And just make sure all your ends kind of line up. If not, you can always pull on it. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to put the black side this way. All right. I'm going to stick my zip tie. You can see at the back of the board, like I said, I took all, this is what it looks like on the back of the board, how I put it all, right? And then what I did was I closed these up so I could take that zip tie and stick it underneath. It's a little trick I saw actually, Lori from Unique in the Creek, I saw her do it on the small board, or was it the large board? She did it that way as well. She put the zip ties in and she closed them up and then she slid them underneath. So if you're the type of person that likes things to go a certain way, that's a good way to do it as well. Okay, let's get this in there. So we'll just close it up a little bit. We had quite the storm blow through here yesterday. Sitting at my computer there, and then all of a sudden the lights just flicked back on. And then I was sitting, of course, now I gotta wait for everything to load back up again. And then 10 minutes later it happened again. I'm like, my God, it's got it. And it was like so dark outside, literally. Like I'm thinking there's gotta be a tornado somewhere. Sure enough, apparently there was one that touched down somewhere. I just can't remember. It was Springfield or somewhere. I can't remember. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, so you got white and black on the bottom, and you got white and black on the top. Okay, so now I just got 2 more to do. We'll get those done, and then we'll get the butterfly. I got that ready to go, and then we're gonna make a bow. I'm just wondering, I might end up putting a couple of extra pieces in the middle just to keep it, but the mesh, when you do it this way, it just kind of holds everything together. Alrighty. I have an extra piece of block. Okay, just enough. I still have to get an air conditioning unit for my bedroom. It was so hot in there. I had the window open, everything was just still really hot. And I had a bit of a hard time falling asleep. I mean, who wouldn't that heat? Because we all know heat rises. Okay, so now I'm going to take another zip tie and slide it underneath this one here. So now we have the black. Now we're going to put the black one, turn it this way. So this is on the bottom. I'll just stick that in there. You can always fix the ribbons and everything later. Okay, so now we're going to do the last gold together. Okay, so just always kind of crisscross this way. There we go. Okay, perfect. Oh, I'm really feeling the heat. My downstairs is very cool, but I think with the lamps on and everything, and the laptop and the computer behind me and the ring light, I'm feeling the heat because it's usually very nice and cool down here. Because I work from home, so everything is down here in the living room, and it's nice and cool here in the summer because my doors and my windows all face north and south. I don't get that heat, like sun directly pounding through, so it stays nice and warm in here. Cool in the summer. Okay, and we have one more left. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. My one cat there is lying on the kitchen floor on his back because it's nice and cool. He loves it. He always is. Every time I look over, he's lying on his back. Okay, so again, over top. Okay, just a little once. To the middle. That they're even. There we go. And then of course our last black check and gold. There we go. Together. So my last zip tie is in there. So now I'm going to do, the white's at the bottom, the black is at the top. The drill boards are great too because you can make like a nice longer swag too. You can put two together and make a nice long swag. Uh-oh. I went in the wrong way again. My glasses were falling off because it's like I'm hot and I'm sweating and my glasses were starting to slide off my face. So if you're a glass wearer and in this heat, you know what I'm talking about. And there we go. So I'm just going to pick these up. And then I always pinch them underneath the ribbon where it's going with the zip tie. Just to kind of pop it up. Okay. There we go. Whew. Okay, perfect. Okay, like I said, now I just gotta mix the ribbon up. Like I said, that you can always do after when you're done. As you can see, there it is so far. So like I said, if you like, I'm probably gonna end up adding some mesh in the middle as well, because normally this would keep it up, but I want to add a little bit of mesh in there. So what I'm gonna do for now, okay, so this is ready to go. For now, I'm just going to make the bow. And I don't know if Lori has any more of these kits left, the ribbon and sign sets. I'd have to check the website just to see. Okay. Whew. Heat's really getting to me. Okay. So now I'm gonna get, so I'm just gonna make, so where my sign is, like the butterfly is gonna go. Now I have to look to see where the top of the board is. Okay, so this is the top of the board. So I'm just gonna put it here, like angle it like this. And then I'm just gonna put a nice bow here. Like I said, I'm still undecided about the greenery. But there's different ways you can do this as well. Like with the mesh. So. Alrighty, so I'm going to start off with the check. How long do I want my tail? I'm going to put the bow here. Okay. So we're looking about 12 inches. Yeah. Okay. 12 inches down. And of course my loops are going to be 6 inches. I should have brought down my ribbon holder. There we go. So I'm going to do 4 loops of this at the black and white check. I like to dovetail their ends while they're doing this. I usually do it at the end. Okay, and then we're going to go with the gold on top because I want the Swiss dot on top. So what I'm using up is I actually had some leftover gold Swiss dot from a previous project. So I did, because this is the roll that came with it, so it's still unused, right? Because I didn't use very much ribbon for this at all. Like I said, like 4 pieces of the gold Swiss dot, 8 of the gold, and 4 of the black and white check is all I used. So, of course this I'm going to do 5 inches. And I'm a little awkward here because I'm really sweating. So I'm trying to stop the sweat from going into my eyes. Okay, so this will be 5. I'm going to do 4 of this one as well. Sometimes I only just do 2 and then I add the other one, but you know, when I got more than enough ribbon here, that this could be used for another project as well. Okay. Okay. And you still got plenty left. Like at this gold, like I said, I only used 8 pieces, and then you saw what I used in the bow. So got plenty left. So that's the great thing about the ribbon and sign sets. You can use them on whatever board you want. If you use it on a rectangular board, you'll still have plenty left over for another project, you know. Okay, and then now we're going to use up this. Okay. So this I'm going to do 4. If you all know my last couple of videos, you know that I do 6, 5, and 4. It's the way I do it. It's the way I like it. Right? Some like to do 6 and 6, like the same, you know, whatever. So everybody has a different way of doing their bows. And I'm just going to do 1 on each side. So just 1 of each. Done. And I'm just going to say, and this is what I have left. And then I'm just going to do a 2-inch loop. Here we go. See, and look, it's perfect. See, with the 2-inch loop, it just worked out perfect. So this is completely now done. Okay, so I'm gonna take my zip tie. So everybody does this differently. I like to kind of tighten this up a little bit more. I have my pipe cleaner ready. Up just a little bit more. There we go. Just kind of hold on to that. There we go. Make sure this doesn't fall apart. Okay. And just squeeze it up. Like I said, my glasses are literally falling off my nose. That's, you know what I mean? With everything going on in here, you know? But at least it's not so bad. So I'm trying to keep my glasses on while I'm trying to do this. Maybe I should have picked a better day to do this, huh? Okay, so you can see here, I'm just going to move these down. Like I said, this is beautiful ribbon. Okay. I always put the middle loop up so I got something to grab onto. Okay, oh, there we go. And then just kind of flip your bow a little bit. See here, to see what I'm doing. There we go. Be afraid to tug on it to get it fluffy. And there we go. Well, and of course I'll always fix it too again when it's on the board. Okay, well, there you go. All that glitter, love the glitter. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my bow on. Like I said, I might end up having to put more mesh in the middle, but I just want you guys to see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I wanted it here. Okay. And this is pretty easy because there's no mesh in the middle right now. But once I get the mesh in the middle, like I said, I'll always remove this after. And then just put the mesh in the middle, I think. Probably what I'll end up doing. Okay. Really? There we go. Yeah, if I put the mesh in the middle, it'll be easier for this to stand up. But I just wanted to give everybody an idea of what to do with that. If you got that ribbon and sign set, or if you've been thinking about it. All right, and then there's the sign here. I'm just going to put this right here. Yeah, I'm going to have to put in some mesh in between. And I'll do that later. Because right now I am sweating. and water, sweat just keeps getting into my eyes. I'm trying to see what I'm doing, and I'm not having much of a good time here. So all I did was with the butterfly, underneath you'll find there's a loop there, and that's all where I put the, where I used the pipe cleaner. So as you can see here, and this is it. And that's it. So like I said, I might have to put some mesh in between. And then we can dovetail this because I want this to be up a bit higher. I'll just dovetail this. And that's it. Well, I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or anything, you know, put a comment. Send me a message on my my Facebook page, Decowreathsbylily, as well. This will be up on YouTube later. I might have to do some editing a little bit here and there. But like I said, I think I'm going to end up putting in between, but right now it's like I am just dripping. There we go. Like you could probably curl this as well. I'm not great at that. I see so many people curl these and they do such a great job. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. This is where I have the issue. You kind of want to make those curly loops, right? And I always have an issue. Don't know why. Okay. Here we go. And there we go. And that's it. That's it. Here's the bow. I'll take a picture of it after as well, what it looks like on my door. These are perfect for, you know, if you have like an RV, like a camper, whatever, cottage, you can just hang this up on your door. I am going to put, as you can see back here, where I put the bow. So it's 1, 2, 3 on the 4th, and then the 2nd at the top. And then I'll fix these ends up. But, and that's it. And there she is. Very simple design. And the gold just really, like, you just see that gold. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Again, everybody, please, excuse me, please stay cool. This heat wave, yeah, I'm telling you. We wanted summer, now we got summer. Alrighty, bye for now, everybody. We'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll have another video soon. I'll be starting fall next week, so I'm gonna do some tutorials to show you guys what I'm doing. Bye for now.